Hello folks and welcome back to Horizon Zero Dawn. We've got a lot of people talking in the background here, so let's just go ahead and see if we can leave. I don't think there's anybody here we want to actually talk to. I don't know. What about you? You a person? Nope, you're not a person I can talk to. How about you? Oh, you're personable.
What do you want, Ulvund? Some kind of payment?
My dear magistrate, you think I can be bought? If you want that whistle blown, all you have to do is have your soldiers remove the bristlebacks and sign the concession decree. Face it, what other choice do you have?
Kinda hate you already.
Savior, what auspicious timing. Might we discuss a matter of importance to the Sundom?
We might. Later.
Very well. I shall be waiting.
So, the savior herself, Walloper of Derval, gutter of youth.
Maybe.
I've heard many tales of your beauty and heroics, my fierce lady warrior.
Thanks.
Ulvund Freeholder, at your service. So, what could have dragged you away from the fine silks and wine of Meridian to this smudge of a settlement? Your saviorly attention must be needed elsewhere.
Saviorly
I'm here for the embassy and...
The embassy? Why, by the forge. Ah. Greater gears for greater matters. Guess that means you'll be moving on.
Once I've dealt with any problems around here that need my saviorly attention.
Ah, the bristlebacks, of course.
Sort of.
Got to get rid of them if you want that embassy to take place. Well, best get to it, hey? And off you go.
Not so fast.
Okay. So so the bristlebacks are out. We don't do that yet. Alright, what's the deal with you and the Karja?
You don't seem to have a high opinion of the magistrate?
Well, I refuse to play nice to some fancy-robed parchment pusher when my fellow laborers are being bullied, intimidated, and taken advantage of.
How noble of you.
Noble, ha! Born with a hammer in hand I was. Nobody handed me anything or dropped opportunity into my lap.
Okay, but how did you get to your current position?
Everything I've achieved, I've done on my own.
And where is this hammer now?
The, burden of leadership forced me to set it aside. The Karja risk nothing, while demanding that good Osram gamble with their lives out there. Someone had to step up and say no more.
Okay, and that's the work stoppage, I guess.
You ordered the work stoppage?
Indeed I did. We're laborers, not soldiers. Until the Karja clean up their mess and give us the fair deal we deserve, I'm not risking Osram lives.
Fair deal? You mean your concession decree?
It's not my decree. It's on behalf of all the good Osram laborers of this land who do all the back-breaking work, while only the Karja reap the rewards.
Who are you talking
all
to?
we're asking for is the ability
Oh, the other
to
workers.
share in this prosperity for a land worked by the people, for the people.
Right. And just how much would be your share?
Only an amount appropriate to my contributions to this community, of course.
So, a whole dollar? Who appointed you exactly? I mean, were you voted? Like, how does this work?
If Chainscrape is on Karja land, shouldn't a Karja be in charge? Who appointed you?
The sensibilities of good Osram folk, of course. You think a Karja can head this whole venture? Ah! The magistrate can barely make the trek from Barren Light without losing a few screws.
I mean, you're not
So
wrong.
you have no real authority then. People only follow you because you say so. Loudly.
Anyone who has followers has authority. I've been with Chainscrape from the beginning. I mean, I'm practically its founder, and its honest folk know I'm indispensable to its success.
You might have been at some point, but I don't know if that's true now.
You said you founded Chainscrape. Somehow I doubt that.
Practically founded, I said.
Not the same thing.
I alone saw its potential when it was just a smattering of tents in Barren Light's shadow. I invested in the mine, convinced some friends back home to do the same, and here we are. You could say Chainscrape is what it is thanks to me.
Oh, so you're not just standing around and profiting off everyone else?
Not at all. Sure, I make a little return on my investment here and there, But my main priority, as it was from the beginning, is to look after the well-being of these honest, working Osram.
Well, he's gotten a little quieter, but not by much. Alright, you know, it's enough of your, I don't know, whorishness. We're gonna go deal with the Bristlebacks, thanks.
Where's the whistle?
Right in the middle of town, but with the threat out there, I'm not endangering innocent Osram lives.
I'm going to clear out the Bristlebacks. And when I'm done, this valley is gonna get moving.
If that's what it takes. Until then, I'll keep looking after the safety of these good folk.
Just be ready to blow the whistle.
Okay, well, that was
Better
an
see what that
experience.
Karja magistrate wanted. I bet he's in the tavern.
Well, didn't we want to go to the tavern anyway? I kind of think we do want to go to the tavern anyway, because that's where Aloy's friend is. But there's a bunch of exclamation points everywhere. I guess we just go with one of those. How about up here? Unknown machine strike?
Nothing interesting happens in the claim anymore.
Okay, so this is the tavern. I do like how it's seamless. That's kind of cool. No loading screen to get into here. Elder Scrolls take note.
We need the last supplies to come in.
Hey there, folks. I'm just stepping through. Just stepping through, no worries.
Savior!
Look, I
Over
ain't
here!
saying they ain't got good cause. Forge knows if I had...
Savior, thank you for taking the time, and my condolences that you had to endure Ulvant's bloviating.
Bloviating, that's what I
I've
wanted.
dealt with worse. It sounds like he's really trying to put you over the barrel.
The idea that the Karja purposely let Bristlebacks into the Daunt, it's completely absurd. But the louder and longer he says it, the more support he'll get for his damned concession decree.
How did the Bristlebacks get into the Daunt?
No one knows for sure. The first report of them came from west of the quarry. But unless they have wings I don't know about, I don't see how they could have come over the mountains.
No other way in.
The only way I know about is barren light. Look, if you can get to the bottom of this, I can offer a considerable bounty in return. Help me shut Ulvant up.
If only. If fucking only it was that easy.
What is this concession decree that Ulvant wants?
He wants the Sundom to designate portions of the Daunt as Oseram holdings. Only the portions, mind you, that produce any value.
Let me guess. Because he stands to profit somehow?
Exactly. With the Daunt under Oseram law, he could secure more investment for their numerous ventures.
He can't get those investments without the concession?
No. Not while there's a chance the Sundom could revoke their access. Hence, why the concession is so important to him. And why blaming the Karja for the Bristlebacks, no matter how absurd, works in his favor.
Quite the politician. Alright. So his idea is to blame the Karja then.
How does blaming the Karja for the Bristlebacks help Ulvant get his concession?
Look around. This may be the Sundom, but Chainscrape is all gears and rust and bad ale.
I don't know, you got a giant thing of that.
Claiming
eagle
that the
in front of you.
Karja loosed the Bristlebacks in order to intimidate Oseram laborers into obedience. Well, let's just say no one here has forgotten the atrocities of the Mad Sun King. And with the Bristlebacks bringing work in the valley to a halt, Ulvant has plenty of time to pick at barely healed wounds.
And if the Oseram refuse to work, unless the concession is signed, you won't have a choice.
Correct. The reconstruction of Barren Light must continue.
How did you get stuck out here?
I asked for the posting, believe it or not. Overseeing the entire valley on behalf of the Sun King? It was an honor. Is an honor, I mean.
But your job would be a lot easier without someone like Ulvand blasting hot air all the time?
Ulvant's not going anywhere. He's been around longer than I have. Even fancies himself the founder of Chainscrape.
Yeah, we heard that tale.
Now, I'll find a way to live with him. I have to.
It's part of your job. Yep.
You said the Bristlebacks were first spotted west of the quarry?
Yes, according to one terrified laborer, said the ground trembled before they came charging down the hillside. He took off and ran all the way here.
Good place to start looking, then.
If you learn the truth, maybe Ulvund will stop blaming the Karja for every problem under the sun, and maybe then he'll actually focus on rebuilding Barren Light instead.
It's a theory. Good work. Alright, is our friend over here?
Don't let Petra hear you say
No, it's not our friend, but, hey, Moldov.
Hey, Mildef. Mildef. I took some of your stew last time I went into the wilds. Kept me going for a week. Felt like I could have put a strider in a sleeper hold.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Sounds like you're serving up some impressive provisions here.
Not again. You can have the discount too, but you'll have to come back later.
I think you have me confused with someone else.
Oven didn't send you?
No.
Oh, my apologies. It's just that his minions won't stop pestering me.
Minions, I like that. That's good.
Now I've even worn out my special griddle.
How do you wear out a griddle?
Since I'm in the midst of a crisis, perhaps you could skip to what it is you wanted?
Some of your food?
Pay for it.
Of course.
Why else would anyone go to you? So he's got minions?
Are Ulvund's people causing you problems?
Oh, yeah. They constantly demand my best, but the equipment I need to make my signature dishes isn't built for batch cooking. And don't get me started on the Ulvund discount they feel so entitled to.
And if you refuse?
I make meals, not trouble.
It's a good way to put it. I like that. All right.
How did you end up in Chainscrape?
Heard about a new and upcoming town at the edge of the frontier. Where there's a town, there's a tavern. I was in need of work. So I got myself out here and started cooking. Some of these people had never tasted proper boars and berries stew before. Anyway, next thing I knew, people kept coming back. Guess they like my food. Or the ale.
Yeah, that's... From what I hear, it's unlikely they like the ale, I'm just gonna say.
Your last customer mentioned your cooking really kept him going out in the wild. Where I'm headed, I could use some of that.
I would be happy to oblige, especially since you have the decency to ask pleasantly.
But...
But my special groove griddle is no more. Without it, I can't cook any of my signature dishes. I hate to think what'll happen when I'm forced to refuse Ulvund or his goons.
Okay, so what do you need?
Even if I already had the right ingredients, there's nothing I can do. Unless you can source me a temporary replacement?
What do you need?
For the ingredients, a few pieces of decent wild meat, and I'd say a big handful of bitter leaf stems. That'll do. As for the griddle, a corrugated metal panel might suffice until I can have a new one forged. You'd likely find one in a scrounger pile. If you follow the river to the northeast.
Northeast.
Don't
Got it.
worry, I'll clean it first.
Well, I hope so.
You'll have no issue finding boars and bitter leaf on your way. Assuming you're as much a hunter-gatherer as your clothing suggests.
Good
Thanks,
point.
Mildef. I'll keep an eye out.
So that's what gratitude sounds like.
And don't let anyone push you around, okay?
If you say so.
He's not exactly in a position, but alright, I get
Already
it.
got enough bitter leaf. Just need to hunt for some wild meat and grab a metal panel from a scrounger pile.
Okay, so the bitter leaf is at least done, because I've been scrounging like crazy. Alright, looks like there's a couple more other things here. I thought I saw... Yeah, here we go. Green's exclamation point over this
Anyone
way.
see where I put my drink? Anyone? Like my uncle used to say.
Okay, so you guys are locked down. I can at least use this, but that's about all I can do. Anybody in here?
Smartest man to ever stand
It
exactly.
says... Oh, it's okay. It's further. It's further. We don't really need the workbench right now. All we need is this exclamation point. Aw, the kid's adorable. Just walking around like that. Okay, so not you guys. It's over... Whoops. Oh, I just passed it. Did I? 21 ahead of me. Okay, no, it changed from the compass. Okay, yeah, you know what? Now that I remember, I think the old game did that too. It changed from the compass to the local position. Okay. You don't look well. You okay?
What happened to you?
That damn mine is what happened to me. Won't be the last injury if Ulvund keeps shoving those tongs into those tunnels.
What mine?
Northeast of Chainscrape, where the river ends. I told Corvin we should stop when the first cave-in happened, but Olvin probably threatened to cut off her pay. Or worse.
How about you slow down
You don't know?
and take me through it?
Yeah, take this nice and easy. So, first off, what exactly are you injured? Like you have a rib cracked or something?
You mentioned you were injured in a cave-in.
Yeah, a couple days ago. That's how I hurt this blasted leg. Corvin and the others were opening a new vein while I was checking on an older one. As soon as their blast hit, tunnel I was in collapsed. Might have dodged it if I wasn't running on barely a spark of sleep. We were pushing too hard and too fast.
And you're afraid Corvind and the others might not be as lucky if it happens again.
Mm-hmm. Hit the nail right on the head.
Okay.
How come Olvin's in charge? Don't these mines belong to the Karja?
Wishful thinking.
Try telling Olvin that. He brought in all the backing to get them open. Might as well own them. Fire and spit. You ask him. He owns us as well.
Alright, so he's the right piece of work. No surprise there.
Who's Corvind?
He's their foreman. And a damn good one. The kind that knows how to deal with management when it gets unreasonable. But Olvind... his demands go beyond unreasonable. Corvin's been doing his best to appease him. He even blamed himself for my injury when it was Olvind who ordered the extra shifts.
Sounds like a good guy.
That's why we all put up with the long hours and lousy conditions.
That can only go so long.
But if the whole mine becomes unstable, I'd rather suffer Olvin's wrath than die buried in rubble.
Fair enough. Alright, let's see if Aloy has an idea to help.
I could check in on your crew if I'm in the area.
I would appreciate that. Thank you.
By the way, love your armor. Like, the arm piece is fantastic. It's a great design. Okay, I think we're done with question marks in the air. We could probably circle the camp. But I'm pretty sure we're basically done here. There's an unknown 100 meters away. Looks like it's still in the camp.
Yeah, you! Took you long enough.
Okay, so up here... Man, there's a lot of just general debris around. Oh, hey, do you actually have...
I'll make my father proud.
Oh, no, okay, that's the... Oh, that's my stash. Okay, I don't need that right now.
Almost ready to go?
So up here to you, you're 50 meters away, somewhere down this area. I'm assuming that's in meters, right? I guess it could be feet. There are footsteps next to it. I suppose it could be feet. I'm not going inside here, and you can't be taught. Oh no, I can totally greet you. I can greet you. Hello. Hey. Oh, I could. There we go.
I'm okay. Okay.
Oh, well, of course, with the work stoppage, they're probably all just getting horribly drunk. Or wonderfully drunk, I suppose, from their perspective. Let's see, question mark. Where? Up somehow? Yeah, 14 meters or 14 feet up that way. Well, there's a ramp. Oh, you're a potion maker.
We don't like empty kettles.
Which would be nice if, you know, anyone was fucking actually working today, but that's not a thing. I mean, I guess I don't have that much cash anyway, right? It says apparently I have 11, which is probably not going to be enough. Oh, there's a stash here. Hold on, can I get inside here? Circling has revealed nothing. Can I get up? Oh, I thought maybe I'd be able to jump on top or something, but that's not a thing.
I let you out of the forge early, huh?
Not going to be able to go in there, I think. At least if I can... Okay, I can kind of sort of like jump over here, which gets me over this way. Oh, there we go. I can go inside. There you go.
Aloy, change your mind about that brew?
Oh, it's Petra. Yeah, okay, we want to do that. I just jumped into their... Did not mean to jump on top of your table, guys. Where is the... Oh, it's you. Play Machine Strike. Oh, it's a mini game. Okay, I'm kind of tempted. Let's just see what this is all about.
Ah, come to revel in some strike, sister? Let me set the board.
I was just passing by.
First timer, huh? Don't worry about it. I'll go easy on you. You got any pieces?
No.
Well, aren't you in luck then? I got an extra set, a Tanakh original straight out of the Forbidden West. Sit. I'll run you through it in a hot spark. I'll give you something special if you win at all my boards, too.
Huh. Alright, she must be desperate for a player. Alright, what do you got? It's trying to be like, you know, get the collectibles like Gwent, basically. Okay, yeah, let's do the tutorial, obviously. Difficulty beginner, great, because I'm horrible at these things. Let's see how this goes. Okay, so as a reward, I get 2x. I don't know what that means. Sure, I guess we just go ahead and start it. Yep, confirm. Let's see
all
what this
right,
is about.
let's start off simple. The Tanakh like to say that Machine Strike is a game of pure strategy. We each get a set of pieces. Each piece represents a kind of machine, and each machine is worth a different number of victory points. And to win the game, you'll need to gain 7 victory points by destroying the opponent's machines. It can be tricky remembering the details of every machine, so we use these notes to keep track of them. You see that number on the top right corner?
Okay, that's the number of victory points.
That there is how many victory points you'll get for destroying that machine. Notes also tell you how far a piece can move, how powerful their attacks are, the distance they can strike from, and of course, their health.
Okay, so they introduced a card game.
Okay, that's enough for now. Let's just play. I'll explain the rest as we go.
All right.
I own the board, so I get to choose who goes first.
Seems fair.
Since this is your first time, I'll let you go.
That seems pretty unlikely to happen
Usually
later.
you get to choose which pieces to set on the board, but this will do for now. Pick up that machine piece to your right, and move it forward.
Okay, so I take you.
And remember, each machine can only move a certain distance. Take a look at your notes if you need a reminder.
Okay, because it can only move 2 pieces, but it doesn't have to move the full 2. So if I wanted to move only 1 step up, I could do that.
Move that machine forward. It's all part of the learning process.
Did I not? Oh, okay, they want me to move it all the way up. Okay, nope, that's fine. Tutorial, it's fine.
Easy enough, huh? Now, you get to move 2 machines each round, so go ahead and pick a second machine.
Okay, so I select you, and just for the tutorial, we'll move it up here.
Perfect. There's not much else to do for now, so just end your turn.
Don't know what overcharge means, so we're gonna go ahead and leave that off.
We're forging onwards. Let me move my pieces here. And we're back to you. This time, why don't you try attacking one of my pieces? Try with that machine on your right first.
Okay, so tap
Now
it.
move the piece close enough to attack one of my machines. When performing an attack, you'll be testing your machine's combat power against the opponent's. And its own attack power. This board only has grassland terrain, which has no effect on a machine's combat power. And your current machine has 2 points of attack power. So in total, your machine's combat power equals 2 points. Since my machine isn't the one attacking, it has 0 points of attack power. And just like your machine, it's not affected by grassland terrain. So right now, the difference in combat power between the 2 machines is 2 points. This means your machine can do 2 points of damage to my machine. Did you get all that?
Looks like it's enough to take it out, so sure. Yes, let's keep going.
Knew you were a smart one. Finish up by attacking my machine.
Bonk.
Not pulling any punches, huh? Now grab that second machine of yours. See how your machine can't move close enough to attack mine? You can make your machine sprint. That lets it move 1 space further. Try it out.
Okay, so there you go. That's a sprint. Okay, so very similar to the way Blood Bowl does it. Is it the option's available to you, but it should be... Well, I mean, it really should be in different color.
Downside to sprinting is that your machine can no longer attack. Now, some players like to take a risk and overcharge their machine in cases like this. Overcharging lets you attack after a sprint, but it will damage your machine's health by 2 points. So use at your own discretion. Let's try doing that now so you can see what I mean.
Okay, so sure. Let's go overcharge, then attack. Bonk.
That's about it for your turn then.
Okay, so end my turn. Okay, she's being really nice and
I'll
not
let
attacking.
you in on a neat trick. That machine of yours, the one closest to me, grab a hold of it.
Okay.
Same as in the wilds, machines have both armored points and weak points. You can see them marked on the pieces. Blue shows where their armor is thickest. Hit them there and you'll do some damage, but not a lot. Now, red shows the machine's weak points. Hit those and you'll deal a mighty blow. Here, let me show you. Rotate that piece so your machine faces mine.
Okay, so L2,
Now
there we
let
go.
that machine have it.
Bonk.
Off the board she goes, and there's your first victory points. You don't have 7 of them yet, so let's keep going. Your machine attacked mine, but hasn't moved yet. Go ahead and move downwards towards my remaining piece.
Okay, so I move down. I think I'd like to rotate just to be on the safe side, and then done.
You've already attacked a machine and moved your piece. But if you overcharge your machine, you can attack a second time. And by the look of your machine's health, you'd be sacrificing your piece to defeat mine.
Yep.
But sometimes that can be a good thing. Overcharge your machine to attack mine a second time, and I'll show you what I mean.
Okay. So overcharge it, and then attack.
Ain't that a thrill? Now, because your machine was knocked out at the same time as mine, we both get the victory points our machines are worth. Good news is, since you're the one attacking, you're gonna receive your victory points before I do. Which means you can reach the coveted 7 victory points first. That's why sometimes losing a piece can be the best way to end a game in your favor.
Okay, so it's an in-game strategy
Now,
only.
you'll notice you didn't get quite up to 7 victory points this time, but you did destroy all my pieces. That means you're the winner! That wasn't so hard, was it? Just remember to always check for the best terrain to attack from. You'd be surprised the advantage you can gain over an opponent like that. I know it saved my behind in a game or two.
I'll try and remember that.
Oh, before I forget, these are all my spare pieces. I want the Savior of Meridian to have them. It's a small set to be sure, but it should be enough to get you in on any strike games you find out there. You might even fancy looking out for them strike carvers. They've got all kinds of unique pieces that can turn a game in your favor, though they'll need the right materials to craft you one. Or you might find them in the wilds if you're lucky. I know I've lost my fair share of pieces after a night of machine hunting or brew hopping. No need to thank me. Always a pleasure to help out new strike players.
All right.
Now, if you feel like playing a real game, I've got plenty of other boards. I could even teach you a few more tricks if you're up for it.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
See, Aloy does not seem enthused about this. Okay, one step closer to get mashing a machine strike, great. But yeah, Aloy does not look enthused. Maybe as we get more into it, she'll get a better idea. Let's go ahead and do train and knockback. It's like if we do all 3 of these, that might be enough to unlock her pieces.
Ah, I knew I'd make a strike player out of you yet. How about this time I tell you how to use a board's terrain to your advantage?
It's quite the terrain differences.
This one's got all the different terrains you can encounter in a game of Strike. Knowing when and how to use them can mean the difference between victory and defeat. Terrain mainly affects your machine's combat power. As you know, when fighting an opponent's machine, you compare its combat power to yours. The higher your machine's combat power, the more damage you can do. So finding the right terrain is an essential strategy for overpowering your opponent. Here, I'll show you. Grab that piece to your left and move to attack my machines.
Okay, so up here.
Now let's take a look at your machine's combat power. Combat power is the sum of a machine's attack power and the value of the terrain it's standing on. Since your machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's also standing on forest terrain with a value of 1 point. Add those together, and your machine has 3 points of combat power. My machine is standing on grassland terrain with a value of 0 points. It's also not attacking, which means their attack points aren't in play. So my combat power is 0. This means your machine can do 3 points of damage. Go ahead and test it out.
Okay, so if I back it up, okay, so he has 4 to begin with. I move in. When I do this, he'll only have 1. Okay. Boop.
There you go. Now, choosing the right terrain doesn't just improve your offense. It can also help defend your machines from attack. Grab your other piece and place it in front of my second machine.
Oh, because that one's standing in grass, and we can see
Since
how that
your
works.
machine is attacking, it's using its 2 points of attack power. It's standing on grassland terrain. This terrain has a value of 0. This means your machine's combat power adds up to 2 points. My machine can't use their attack power since they're defending their position. But they have the higher ground. They're standing on forest terrain, which is worth 1 point. This means my combat power adds up to 1 point. Now, the front of my machine is colored blue. This means that the spot you're about to attack has armor protecting it, which means my machine gets an extra point, giving it a total of 2 combat power points. If we compare the combat power of both machines, you'll see that you won't be able to do any damage. Whenever you're unable to top an opponent's combat power, you can still choose to attack and break their machine's defenses instead. Go ahead, try it out and see what happens.
So it looks like it'll break our defenses too, but okay. Boop.
Ha, see? When you break a machine's defenses, you can knock it backwards. Sure, both our machines will receive 1 point of damage, but knocking my machine off that terrain makes it more vulnerable to attacks. Not only that, if my machine had been blocked from moving backwards, it would have received an extra point of damage. And if my machine had been blocked by another one of my pieces, that machine would have received damage as well. That's why breaking a machine's defenses is a great way to deal damage to several pieces at once. Useful, right? Okay, now go ahead and end your turn. There's still one more thing I want to show you. All right, as we've seen, the higher the terrain, the more it'll add to your machine's combat power. However, there are 2 other terrains that work a little differently. This is what we call a chasm. Only flying machines can be placed on those. But it'll take away 2 combat points if you do, so be wary. This is marsh terrain. Landing on it will take away 1 combat power point from most machines. It'll also keep your machine from moving for the rest of the turn. Here, let me show you. Grab that machine on your left. See? All you can do now is wait for your next turn to move again. Or you can overcharge your machine to get out of there. You can still attack any nearby enemies so you're not completely helpless. Well, I think that's enough yammering from me for now. Promise it'll all come in handy next time you play.
Huh. Interesting we didn't actually get to the victory point thing, but that's okay. Okay, so then last tutorial here, machine types and skills.
Here for more tips? Why don't I tell you a bit more about the pieces we used to play? In a normal game, you get to choose which machines you place on the board. Each one is worth a certain number of setup points, and you can spend up to 10 assembling your army. Knowing what each machine brings to the game and building an army that matches your strategy is the key to becoming a machine strike master. When assembling your army, there are a few things to keep in mind. First and foremost, you can never have more than 4 of the same machine on the board at the same time. With that in mind, most players would choose machines based on how far they can move or how much attack power they have. But a real strike player will be looking at a machine's type and skills. Let's take a quick look, shall we? Pick up that machine on your left. All right, let's talk about the different ways in which a machine attacks its opponents. In other words, its machine type. If you look at your notes, you'll see this machine here is a melee type. You can also tell by the shape of the base the piece stands on. A melee type machine attacks the first enemy within range, and no one else. We've seen this plenty of times, so just move that piece forward so I can show you some more stuff. Great, now grab your other machine. Looks like we've got ourselves a gunner type machine here. This means they'll only hit the farthest enemy in their attack range. Let's move that machine forward and end your turn so we can take a look at the rest of the pieces. Let's go with this piece first. This is a ram type machine. Attack an enemy with it and it'll push the piece backwards. Like this. See, now my machine has taken over your machine's spot on the board. This is a great way to take the advantage away from your opponent if they have the higher ground. Looks like we have one more piece to look at. Now this is a beauty of a piece, a dash type machine. When it attacks, it'll move to the end of its attack range and damage every machine in its path, including your own. So make sure you take a good look at the board before you send it off to the races. You should also make sure it's able to finish its attack on an empty spot. Otherwise, you won't be able to attack at all. Here, I'll show you. Look,
the piece
it
turned.
even rotated your piece. A nifty little piece you'll definitely want in your set. If you look at your notes, you'll notice this particular machine has one of the skills I mentioned before. There's quite a few of those, and we haven't even looked at all the machine types yet. But I'm pretty sure you've got more important things to do, so I made you a list. It's got all the tips and tricks we talked about, too. I think that about does it for now, so if you want to play a real game, just let me know.
Okay. That'll at least get us started, I guess. So now we go ahead and do the actual beginner's practice here. Okay, opponent has a set. Okay, theoretically we get 75 metal shards for that. That'd be nice. We might also get a bristleback sprite piece, which sounds cool. Alright, let's chart this up, see where we can go.
Good luck.
Alright, now she's gonna stop talking, so we need to set up our board next. So we need to... I guess just grab the burrower. We'll go ahead and start with you guys here. And then we'll put you over in the forest.
Your turn.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab you and... Okay, I can sprint into the forest, but that's probably a good idea. We'll just stop there. Yeah, I think we're gonna confirm that. I think... maybe facing forward's a good idea. Never mind. Okay, and then you... Let's put you on top there. And then in turn.
I'm up.
Okay, she's coming forward. Not enough to get
Board's
to
all
me yet.
yours.
Okay, so now... Theoretically, I should be able to sneak up... Well, at least I should be able to turn over here. And strike you here, only for 2, though. If I go over here, though... Oh, I can't attack diagonally. Okay. That makes sense, I guess. Okay, so down here and attacking will drop you by 2. It will probably also turn you around. Maybe not a horrible idea. I could sprint here, but I'd have to overcharge to attack, which is not ideal. So I think we'll go ahead and attack this one, see if we can just gang up. Okay, and then next one. Grab you, come over here. Oh, not enough. Alright, the danger, I definitely don't think I want to go here. And we could kill it. Yeah, they've got defense there. So I think if I just hang back... Yeah, see, that's not going to be enough. And lowering down to that terrain doesn't sound like a good idea at all. But not moving, I don't think is even an option, is it? I think we have to move. have to move, I'm going to move over here and rotate this way. Yeah, we're going to stay right here and just in turn.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so she went in the forest and bonked me. Oh, and going to finish off my piece, too.
Ah, down to one piece. I might win this thing.
All right, so I can go in right behind you. I think we're doomed here.
Now that was a smart move.
Let's overcharge and hit it one more time. It's a little risky, but I think it's doable.
Well, that's done now.
Okay, so we're done. Oh, because I overcharged. Okay, so I can go this way. Yeah. Okay, so that's something. In turn. Let's see how this goes.
Make my move.
Ooh.
Oh, I won! Probably shouldn't sound so surprised, huh?
All right. She did well there. Let me go ahead and retry that. I think we're on the verge.
Let's do this.
Okay, so I thought we'd have more pieces for some reason. So let's just start them both in the over here there, because she's gonna do the same thing on her side. There we go. So now we're together.
Your move, Red.
Okay, so we're gonna go and sprint towards the forest here, and then you're gonna go ahead and sprint into the forest over here, or maybe just go into the rocky train. Okay.
My turn. That's it for me.
Okay, so I want to start with you. I want to rotate you over here. Nice. Boop.
Just one piece left. That sure dampens the forge.
I like the phrasing there. Dampens the forge. All right, so you come up here in this terrain and hit here. Much better.
Time to get serious.
Okay, so she's basically retreating. But it's not going to work
You're
out
up,
well
Red.
for you. So I'm just going to hit you anyway. Like, you're done. Okay,
You
that was a
got
lot
me.
easier.
Fair and square.
Okay, much better. Okay, let's try something a little bit more. Yeah, okay, we're gonna have more pieces now. That could work out. Okay, looks like we're basically evenly matched in here.
Let's play.
All right, she's stacking up the left side of the board here, so let's go do the same. Maybe just start in the forest entirely. That probably seems like a good idea. Let's move you over here, and let's have you pair up over this way.
My turn.
Okay, fight the dash.
That's it for me.
Okay, so you maybe over here, but the sprinting is going to make it so I can't really attack. So I think what we do is we basically, either way they're going to attack here. So I think we just pull up, I guess, in the forest. Okay, so then you move over here, and then I can attack. Yeah, go ahead and do it. What the hell?
Thank the forge you hit armor.
Okay, she's still down to 2, though, but that's not too bad. Then you... Oh, no, it's in turn. Okay, so I can only move 2 pieces at once. Gotcha.
Time to get serious.
Okay, so she's gonna flank me a little bit there. Oh, and was able to
One
attack
less
twice.
piece on the board.
So she basically tried to take me out. I'm not sure that was a great move on her
You're
side.
up, Red.
We'll see. All right, let's see if I can get you. Trouble is if I can only move twice. I don't think I want you. I think I want to move one of you. If I do the ram type, let's get over here. Stay in the forest. Okay, then you, melee type, come over here and sprint onto here. And then in turn.
Time to make my move.
Okay,
Board's all yours.
let's see how this goes. So, he's exposed his back to us. Theoretically, we should be able to move in this way. I have to overcharge to hit him, but it might not be a bad idea. Now, the trouble with that is that this guy on the north side is going to be able to take me out. So maybe not. What I could do is attack here. That would only be -2, though. It wouldn't take him out. If we go here, though, this guy'd be... Okay, -3, that's better. Won't take him out quite, but it'll be close.
Hey, I like that piece where it was.
Okay, we overcharge. Got 5 health. I think we can go ahead and overcharge just to take him out. It'll hurt a little bit, but I think it's fine. That gets me in the forest
right
too.
off the board.
Okay, then I think we're okay. We have one more move. Let me see. Basically, move here and attack you. I don't want to attack the armor. Attacking the armor doesn't seem like a good idea. I mean, the guy's strong. He's gonna take us out anyway, but I think we do this. Okay, then in turn.
I'm up.
Okay, bonked a little bit there. That's doable. Then you move into the forest. Okay. And then you take out that piece.
That was brutal.
Okay. We take you. If I overcharge over to here. Oh, except he's only in, he was in the forest. I'm not sure if that was a good idea or not. Might not have been. Oh, but that will take him out. That will take him out. Oh, but it'll also hurt my piece. I can move up here instead. I mean, I need to hurt that guy eventually, but I think that's an eventually move. I could take this guy out. It won't actually take out my other piece. Let's do it.
You got me down to 1 piece. I am impressed.
So it's her stronger piece, though, so it's going to be problematic for sure.
Okay, let's see.
Okay. Yep, that's a doom right there. And she gets to move it again.
Off the board it goes. Guess luck's not on your side today, Red.
Nope, that's the way it goes sometimes. Alright, well, that was still fun. Alright, you know what, that's fine for now. Let's go ahead and get out of here.
You know where to find me, Red.
That's interesting. Okay. It's a little bit like Gwent. Like, there's the terrain and everything. I kind of like it a little bit better because I think I understand the pieces a little bit more. But okay, now we know the symbol for machine strikes. So that's good. Let's go ahead and head out. For right now, thanks for watching. This has been Horizon Forbidden West.
I knew you couldn't resist some good company.
It's a Tanakh game, but
Okay, I'm Beast Universe, your Beast Universe channel. See you guys next time.